Hello, WrestleManiacs. Yes, I'm saying it again. It's April 8th, WrestleMania Monday, and it's time for your weekly Thunder. Oh, oh, did y'all hear that? It was a real Thunder MP3. Ha ha! Yes, Sexy Thor's learning stuff, and he's growing, and he's recording and editing and making his Lightning Lad proud. Ha ha ho ho! Man. Expect to hear a lot more of that as I get more familiar and comfortable with all this editing stuff.
You dare threaten me, Thor, with so puny a weapon?
But anyway, so yeah, we're talking about WrestleMania and also trying to think of different ways. So this might sound a little weird because I'm going to be talking about WrestleMania results as it happens, but you'll be hearing it on WrestleMania Monday. I don't know, it's a technology thing, Thunder skills. But anyway, I wanted to get a few headlines out of the way concerning the comic book mediaverse. Well, it's announced that Arrow is ending after season 8, which will be next season, and that Emily Bett Rickards, who played Felicity Smoke Queen, wherever you want to go, she'll be leaving after this season. So, sadly, at a whim, this is our last couple months with Felicity, which is a shame, but she was awesome. Also, it's that time, people. Avengers Endgame tickets are now on sale. So get them now. I definitely got mine for Thursday night. Also, by the time you hear this, there'll probably be a couple days left, but you can get Ronda Rousey mugshot shirts because on the Go Home WrestleMania show of Monday Night Raw a few days ago, she and Charlotte and Becky got quote-unquote arrested. I thought, goddamn, am I going to have to buy yet another Becky Lynch mugshot shirt this time for DC? But no, there's just Ronda ones, which is fine anyway because this was the Becky shirt that I got of the mugshot was from Atlanta Raw, so it was extra special. Not saying DC isn't special, but we're just not going to go there. Before I start getting into WrestleMania and all that, I guess I should discuss the new format this show will kind of be taking as I'm learning editing and such, that I figure the best way for me to do this is to really just record as these new interesting things that I want to talk about happen, which is why it's probably going to hit you like WrestleMania comics movies in some sort of weird order. Obviously, what happens on Raw and SmackDown and NXT would come first, and maybe in between those there will be little news nugget niblets that I'll be talking about, only because, well, I mean, Lightning and Lad and I have talked about it for a good while now, and, this show deserves a little bit more work and a little bit more editing, and it's hard to do that trying to type up a fucking script like a day or so before and then just trying to bang it all out either late Sunday night or early Monday morning or at the 11th hour Monday night. So yeah, if it seems a little bit confusing as how it's being segmented and all that, it's for the most part chronological, because I also want to talk about, while it's fresh in my head, that issue 1 of War of the Realms came out on Wednesday. That's the new Marvel crossover event that's happening this year. As you're probably fairly aware, they do those during roughly every spring, summer, once a year. That's where Civil War came from back in 2006. And this time War of the Realms is all about me. Yeah, because Malekith has rallied all the Frost Giants and all the fire goblins and everybody to wage war on the 10 realms. Oh, and he also has the angels from heaven, the ones that are total mean asses, more similar to the angels of Supernatural, which is coming to an end next year. BTW, little Thunder News nugget right there. And they're closer to those angels than, the angels you read about in the Bible. So yeah, that comic event started Wednesday, and of course they'll have little side issues and also little crossover issues with other people's comic lines. If you've been around comics for a few years, you know exactly the kind of format I'm talking about here. Oh, and between all this Endgame stuff and Marvel just, hogging more of the spotlight, as they happily tend to do, a couple lower key things. I guess this isn't really low key depending how you look at it, but the first trailer for the Joaquin Phoenix starring with Todd Phillips directing Joker movie came out, and looks something pretty crazy. It's sort of theorized that it could be like sort of the Joker that inspires the Jared Leto Joker, if you want to go with the whole DC shared universe thing. But no, DC and Warner Brothers has stated it's kind of done with the whole shared universe thing right now, and all it's going to do is just focus on making kick-ass movies with characters. And if it I guess if it organically just feels like a mashup could be happening, then they'll go for it. But other than that, they just want to make kick-ass movies for their characters once again. Also, actually, low-key, a couple set photos from Birds of Prey have leaked out, and it seems like Joker's throwing out Harley out of the house in a much nicer way, or less meaner way that doesn't cross the domestic abuse line sort of way. So that it's kind of a forced emancipation, but emancipation nonetheless. And she's still fantabulous. And Friday I finally got to catch Shazam, and it was pretty good. Most of the funny parts were in the previews, but fortunately this movie was more than just ha-has and ass kickings. There was a very good message about family and also believing yourself worthy and all that. Not exactly in a Thor way, but kind of close. And Zachary Levi played a wonderful Shazam. There was some sort of side eyes about why Zachary Levi would be acting like whoa teenager while Asher Angel plays the little Billy Batson that's grumpy and all that. And all I have to say is, well, if you're just yourself with that hard life and angry at everything, and then all of a sudden you become a superhero, your attitude's going to change. That's at least just the way I see it. And your Weekly Thunder is just me, so you're going to get how I see it. But how do you see it? Let us know on the socials, twitter.com/ThunderTalk1, facebook.com/SexyVoiceThor, Instagram at ThunderTalkThor. I'm sorry, I just straight up plugged the social medias right in the middle of my Shazam review. But yeah, even though most of the funny stuff is in the previews, there's still a good bit of surprises that I think everybody will enjoy, including a good answer to that question of, well, why didn't they just make the crippled brother that loved superheroes and knew all about them into Shazam? There's an answer for that, which should satisfy, I think. But anyway, definitely go see Shazam. I really hope this does well, because I want DC to be like, oh yeah, we'll just do like Marvel and make awesome movies about our B-list and C-list characters, and it'll really flesh out this franchise. Because if this fails, I'll probably be like, alright, that's it, 67 more Batman and Superman movies. Which, yeah, we don't exactly need that right now. I think Batman needs another 8-year rest. But they can make 67 more Harley Quinn movies, though. I would be perfectly fine with that. And if you're rolling your eyes, or just being like, no, God, please, no more Harley Quinn, well, I got 2 words for you. But that'll come in the WWE Hall of Fame segment. And before we jump on the subject of the WWE, just one little tidbit of comic book news here, because it's now confirmed that Viola Davis will be returning as Amanda Waller for the Suicide Squad, which is wonderful news because I thought she was a fantastic Amanda Waller. But it just continues to beg the question, because obviously Margot Robbie's back as Harley Quinn. And apparently Jai Courtney is going to be Boomerang again, and Will Smith will not be coming in as Deadshot. Idris Elba was, and now apparently Idris Elba is actually going to be another character, and they're shelving the Deadshot character. I guess, just open it up for Will Smith's possible return. But this begs the question because they insist this is a total reboot and not a sequel, which just made me wonder how the hell can you have most of the same cast, but this be a total reboot? To which I guess, James Gunn just sat down with Jeff Johns and the other DC guys and was just like, look, your casting was on point. Jared Leto was debatable, it's 50-50 split between audience reaction as to, his performance as Joker. And you had a decent plot going, but how the storytelling was executed was complete ass. Okay, so I'll take at least most of the same cast, but I can't follow up that janky ass storytelling. We gotta tell the story over again. So that's how I imagine the conversation went between them in verbatim in DC headquarters, or the Hall of Justice, whatever you want to call it. And so I think that's why we're getting pretty much the same cast from Suicide Squad, but it'll still be total reboot. So what do you think? And while you're thinking about DC's crazy moves, let me tell you about NXT TakeOver New York that also happened Friday night. It started out with the War Raiders, the defending NXT Tag Team Champions, defeating Aleister Black and Ricochet, which is okay because Aleister Black and Ricochet will also be in the SmackDown Tag Team Championship come WrestleMania. Velveteen Dream defended the North American Championship against the original bro, Matt Riddle. Pete Dunne got dethroned. He would have been a 2-year NXT or WWE UK champion come this May, which is just next month. But alas, he was defeated by Walter. But he still had a hell of a much longer run than AJ Styles' amazing run as WWE champion. Shayna Baszler retained the NXT Women's title against Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, and Kairi Sane, and Johnny Gargano came out in a very awesome Iron Man suit. Okay, it's just a costume. He had a 2 out of 3 falls match with Adam Cole of the Undisputed Era, and despite his Undisputed boys coming in and trying to interfere and mess it up for Johnny, Johnny won, proving he really is Iron Man. And after he was victorious, his wife, Candice LeRae, came out and hugged him, and then they embraced his family. And then as they were at the entrance, Tommaso Ciampa, who had to vacate the title because of his neck injury, came out and embraced both Candice and Johnny. So, who knows if it was, them breaking kayfabe, or if maybe Tommaso's turning face or whatever, but it was a very sweet moment. It was very emotional. I really liked it. Brings us to our final major event before WrestleMania, is the WWE Hall of Fame. The Honky Tonk Man came out and and gave a good speech with his guitar and had Jimmy Hart with him. The beautiful and amazing Tori Wilson was inducted and gave a wonderful speech about facing fears and fuck what other people think. The Hart Foundation was inducted, Bret the Hitman Hart and his brother-in-law, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, who unfortunately passed away last summer, so his daughter Natalia, who's of course been a very major superstar in the WWE over the last quite a few many years, came out and accepted on Anvil's behalf. Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray came out and told their story and was inducted. Sue Aitchison, who was responsible for coordinating all the Make-A-Wish and other philanthropic events that WWE superstars engage in, came out and accepted the Warrior Award in honor of the Ultimate Warrior. And she set the record straight and said it was not Justin Bieber, in fact, who has done more Make-A-Wishes than anybody. It was John Cena with 619. And of course, the mere mention of Justin Bieber just united the entire WWE universe behind John Cena. There was no Cena sucks in that moment. It was John Cena's the fucking greatest. Brutus the Beefcake Barber and his wonderful shears were also inducted. And finally, it all comes around to the final inductees. And I'll finish my thought from the Shazam review of, if you don't like it, 67 Harley Quinn movies idea, then I got 2 words for you. Suck it. New York City was not ready for Degeneration X to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but they got it anyway. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, X-Pac, Billy Gunn, and posthumously China were all inducted, and it was back to basics with their wonderful sense of humor. And I could tell you about it, but if you want to know, then just look it up, man. It was probably the best Hall of Fame induction speech I'd ever seen in my life. So there you have it. Takeover happened. The Hall of Fame induction ceremony happened. Now we're all set for WrestleMania. And this might be a big one, so it's going to come as a separate episode, hopefully right alongside this episode, which will be dropping Mjolnir Monday. Y'all know what time it is. So with that said, I'm Sexy Thor, and remember to drink, fight, and make Vince McMahon angry. Thor sound clip brought to you by Disney, Marvel, and I guess Paramount. So shout out to y'all. Don't sue, don't take this down on YouTube. Come on, listen to my past episodes. Let me work for you.